You may be asking yourself, Jazara, why is any of this important? Well, black people weren't even allowed to act in films back then. They were often characterized by a white person in blackface. Black people started being featured in short films that dated way back from 1898 to 1920. They were then allowed to act in feature-length films in the 1940s, with the rule being that they had to act as slaves, laborers, and mammies. Despite these limitations, African Americans still overcame this predominantly white industry, like Hattie McDaniel, for example, who became the first black woman to win an Oscar in 1940 for her film Gone with the Wind. Although it was a film about a white woman rebuilding a plantation, McDaniels' role in the film was only credited as Mammy.
Oh, Mammy, I'm so thin and pale.
But since then, black Americans have been making first and winning awards for non-stereotypical roles, like Diahann Carroll, who broke racial barriers for being the star of her own television show Julia in 1968, and even being the first African-American woman to win an Emmy for that performance. Or Marlon Riggs, a queer filmmaker/documentarian that broke barriers in the 80s for his films that explored race and sexuality in America. In modern terms, filmmakers like Barry Jenkins, who was the first black man to win an Oscar in 2017 for a film with multiple black leads and queer themes. Or filmmakers like Jordan Peele, the first black man to win Best Original Screenplay for his film Get Out in 2018. There's also the highly acclaimed Ryan Coogler, a prominent director who portrays black culture with his films. Coogler has surpassed films like The Titanic and La La Land with a groundbreaking 16 Oscar nominations for his latest film, Sinners. Hattie McDaniels and Diahann Carroll aren't the only black women to break barriers in film. There's Ava DuVernay, the first black woman to win Best Director at a Sundance Festival for her film Selma, a story about Martin Luther King Jr. and the Civil Rights Movement of 1964. Or like Nia DaCosta, the first black woman to direct a Marvel film. There's even Gina Prince Bythewood, who changed the rom-com genre with her 2000s film Love and Basketball, which also became the first black Hollywood romance directed by a black woman. Did you know the first ever motion picture was of an unnamed black man riding a horse? That's the reason I'm celebrating black voices in film, because without them, we wouldn't have the kind of entertainment we do today.